Hello and welcome back to another episode of Miss Bailey's Resource Room. Today we are going to be talking about math problem solving and solving word problems. This is more of a first grade level word problem, but I think in general it's important to know how to solve word problems. So if you would like to continue to watch this video and go through the steps, even if your child is older than first grade, that is perfectly fine. And again, you can pause this video at any time if you need to rewind to look at the question again, or if you have to pause to write down some of your answers, that's fine as well. I'm going to start out a little bit by talking about what the difference is between math problem solving and math calculation. In education, especially special education, we tend to put them into different categories. So math problem solving typically tends to be word problems, and math calculation tends to be like equations. Also, I apologize, I am working from home, like most people, so you're going to hear my dogs go crazy and my son not wanting to go to bed. Bear with me. So, today we're going to go through some first grade word problems. We're going to work through the steps on how to solve them, and hopefully we can apply these steps later on when we go through other videos. Okay? So, hopefully you can see this. Okay, so our first problem says, Pam has 20 cookies. She gave 10 cookies to Bob and then took a 2-hour nap. How many cookies does Pam have now? Over the important parts of the problem, because math word problems tend to like to distract us. They like to try and trick us with irrelevant information. So our first part is we're going to look at the numbers that we need to use for this equation. So our first number is 20. That's what we started out with. Our second number, she gave 10 cookies away. And then for some reason, let's see, she took a 2-hour nap. So I'm going to write down our numbers down here. So we've got 20, 10, and 2. Okay. The next very important part of this is to look at the question. What are they asking us to do here? So in this question, they're asking us, how many cookies does she have now? Now, if we know what we're looking for, and in this case it's cookies, right? We can kind of weed out the irrelevant information. And they will put irrelevant information in, so we have to be careful with that. So I don't think, and maybe you've come to the same conclusion, I don't think her taking a 2-hour nap has anything to do with her cookies. So I'm actually going to erase that 2, and now I know what numbers I'm actually working with at this point. So if I know my numbers, that means that I can try and decide what operation I'm going to have to do with these numbers. Now, in this case, they're saying that they took 10 cookies away. So we're not adding any more cookies to this problem. She had 20, she gave away 10. We are taking that away. So if we're taking something away, that means that the operation obviously is going to be subtraction. So we're going to end up taking our two numbers, and we're going to do this down here. Again, sorry, bedtime. We're going to take our original number, which was 20. We're going to subtract the number that they took away. And when I look at this, I'm going to, just to make it less overwhelming for my first graders, I'm going to take this bit by bit. Okay, so if I have nothing and I take nothing away from it, I'm going to end up having nothing left over. But if I have two, let's say 2 cookies, and I give one away, then how many cookies am I going to have left over? I'm going to have 1 left over. So altogether, Pam has 10 cookies left over. Lucky Pam. I hope that this lesson didn't really make you hungry for cookies, because it totally made me hungry for cookies. All right, so now that we kind of got the steps, I'm going to show you a problem, and maybe you can pause at this point, look at the important information, try and decide yourself what numbers you need to use, and then ask yourself, what question are they really asking us? What operation do I need to be doing at this point? So I am going to give you guys a moment to figure that out, and then I'm going to go over the answer with you. Hold on, let me fix this. I missed the writing. Sorry. Give me a second. I erased my question. Okay. Okay, so our next question. We got our next question going on. Billy Bob has 10 goats. That's goats. For some reason it erased. Billy Bob has 10 goats and he buys 10 more. Then he watches TV for 50 minutes. How many goats does he have? Okay, you've probably already figured out that there is some irrelevant information in there, but we're going to go through this step by step. Now, the first step I want you to do, if you have a piece of paper in front of you or if you're working on a fancy whiteboard like I am, I want you to go over and circle what numbers we're going to use, and then I want you to put them at the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to give you a second to do that. Okay. Hopefully you've had your minute to do that. Now, so okay, we're gonna go through and circle our important. So we start out with the 10 goats, and then we get 10 more goats. Lucky, we got 10 goats, and then we get 10 more. And then we watch TV for 50 minutes. That's a long time to watch TV, man. Okay, so now that we have our important information, we're gonna write it down here at the bottom. So we've got 10, 10, and 50. Okay, what question do you think they're asking us at this point? You can discuss with your parents or a sibling real quick, or even just say it out loud if you need to. What question do you think they're asking us to do at this point? If you said, figure out how many goats we have, that is the correct answer. That is what we are trying to do. Okay, so if we're trying to figure out how many goats we have in total, do you think that him watching TV for 50 minutes has anything to do with anything? No. No, it doesn't. We can X that out. We can take out our 50. Now, we have to figure out what operation are they asking us to do. Now, we started out with 10 goats, and then he bought 10 more goats. So he's not taking away goats from this situation. This man needs a very big backyard because he's going to get a lot of goats coming to him, right? So in this case, he is, and if you said this, you are correct, he is adding these two numbers together. So I'm going to make my little equation down here. Okay, so we have our 10 goats plus our 10 goats. Again, for my first graders, going to hide part of the equation to help you out. Okay, so if I have nothing and I add nothing to it, again, that's going to be nothing. If I have one of something and I add one to it, that's going to end up being 2. So altogether, this gentleman is going to have 20 goats. He is going to need a very big backyard for those goats. All right. Hopefully this video helped. I'm sorry for the camera malfunctions and family interruptions. Thank you for your patience. I hope you keep watching.